What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Football Physios, where we cover everything in the world of soccer, fitness, and rehab. Now, I was scrolling through my TikTok feed the other day, and I came across a very, very interesting video that was talking about weight loss, which is a very, very common thing for a soccer player to want to do. And in this TikTok, it took the process of losing weight, losing fat, and building muscle, and it related in a very simple way. And I thought it was really interesting, and I had some thoughts to it. So what we're going to do is play that TikTok for you here, and I will give you my thoughts on it as we go through it. And at the end, I'll give you specific tips on how some of it may or may not apply to you as a soccer player. So let's get to it.
Less and move more, you'll lose weight.
Let's pause right there. If you eat less and move more, you'll lose weight. True to an extent, but of course, more detail and more programming has to go behind that, right? Because simply eating less won't necessarily get you to your goal. If you only eat a little bit less, or if you're eating less of the healthy options that you have in front of you, it may or may not lead to your end goal. But let's continue.
You eat less, move more, and eat plenty of protein, you'll lose body fat.
I like the fact that protein seems to be a priority in this TikTok. If you look at the majority of diets that athletes have, many of them do not include nearly enough protein in their diet. Now, does this translate into the regular population, the average human being? Not as much, but it is important. Now, what I don't like about what was included in this is eating protein, reducing the amount of body fat on you. That's not necessarily true. I think that this was included because if you don't eat enough protein, what your body may do is go to your muscles as a source of fuel, which it was likely going to go to anyway, especially if you're eating way too little. But if you at least have a good protein intake, maybe that muscle is able to be replaced. If I'm being completely honest, I really don't like the messaging that was sent in that last bit, but let's continue because I think it gets better.
Less, move more, eat plenty of protein, and strength train, you'll lose body fat and build muscle.
Now, that last bit, I think, paints a very complete picture. Eating less, moving more, eating protein, strength training to lose fat and build muscle. I think this formula can apply to the vast majority of the American or worldwide population. If you're eating less, you're taking in less calories, which means your caloric intake is lower, which means that your body is going to have to go somewhere to get more energy. Where is it going to go? Well, typically it would go to your fat stores, it would go to your carb stores that are in your blood, and if it really, really needs it, it will actually go to your muscles as well. Except if your body thinks that your muscle mass is absolutely essential to your health and well-being. Because if we're being completely honest, most people who aren't strength training, their brains and their bodies don't see their muscles as entirely intentional. But if you are in the gym every single week, your brain thinks, hey, those leg muscles are super important because I need to squat 225. And if I don't have this muscle, I won't be able to do that. Where is the body going to go instead? Well, it's going to go to your fat stores, which is why it's super important. I really like how this video ended because your muscle is going to get stronger because you're strength training and you're giving it the proper protein in order to grow and recover. Your body is going to go to a different spot to get that extra energy where it's going to go to your fat, which is why you'll lose body fat. Now, the question is, how much of this applies to a soccer athlete? Not as much as you would think. Let's talk about it. To start off, if you are a soccer player, weight loss has to be something that is taken very, very seriously in terms of if you want to really commit to it or not. Because if you are trying to lose weight, it should not be during the regular season. It should not be during the postseason. It has to happen during the off season. Now, the question to that is why? Well, if you are losing weight, that means your energy that you're taking in is not sufficient. Well, why is that? Well, if you are undergoing a weight loss process, that means your body is at an energy deficit. It's almost like a bank account. If you're spending more than you're earning, you're going to lose money. And if you're burning more energy than you're taking in, you are going to lose weight, which may not sound like a bad thing, but if you are at an energy deficit, you are not performing at 100% on the pitch. It's impossible. And even if you think you are, trust me, you are not. And when it comes to simply moving more to lose weight, well, you have to really look at what type of movement you're actually doing and how will it impact your game. For example, if you say you want to move more to lose weight and you go off onto the field and do a bunch of sprints, well, are you doing it on the right day? Right? Because if you have a very heavy load session the next day and boom, you pop your hamstring, now you're out for 2-3 weeks, and that's certainly not going to help you in any aspect of your game. Or let's say you do a heavy bike session and now your legs are sore. Well, guess what? If you have a game the next day, your performance might be lower because of that. Again, not helping you in the long run. So if any player in any context, not just weight loss, but really anything at all, if you're doing extra work on top of your training sessions, you have to give it a serious, long and hard thought as to when in the week it should happen and how it should happen, because it will impact your game either positively or negatively. It's just going to happen. So you need to make sure that it impacts it positively. And just to address that last point of you strength training and eating enough protein to build muscle, largely that is true. Largely that is true. But I do think it is important to state that you don't necessarily have to build muscle in order to get stronger. Let me repeat, you don't have to necessarily gain muscle in order to get stronger. There are so many exercises that you can do, especially if you haven't been in the gym before. If you actually look it up, it's called neuromuscular adaptations to strength and resistive training. Your muscles can get stronger and more efficient without necessarily getting bigger. Not to say that there's anything bad about muscles growing, but some players are actually scared of that. Not that you should be scared of that, but if that's a barrier from you getting into the gym, just know in the back of your head that that's an option. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to stay tuned for all future updates in the world of soccer, fitness, and rehab. Peace and love. I'll see y'all next time.